Hey everybody, welcome back to Cast 11 Studios. And as some of you know or may not know, May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And we're lucky enough to have Nick Brown, who is the Touchmark Director of Health and Fitness. He's with us today, and Nick and I are going to discuss the importance of exercise and maintaining good mental health. How are you doing today, Nick?
Doing great. Tired from my exercise, actually.
Did you get a good workout today?
Yesterday, it was a good hike with the family.
Oh, that's nice.
Got to get outdoors.
That's, it's actually good to bring up because I always think of working out as you're going to a gym, you're lifting weights, you're doing whatever, but a really nice hike just out in.
It's the interesting type of working out. I mean, obviously, weights is great for you, and that's what we're going to talk about today, but it's not necessarily the funnest thing you're going to do all week. That's for sure.
Getting out, and the weather's nice. So finally, we've been kind of cooped up with the cold weather, but now with May here, it's time to get out and get some exercise.
Exactly.
What I love is I actually went over to Touchmark a couple weeks ago and toured the whole workout area.
Yeah.
And it literally, to me, was like walking into a resort.
It feels that way for sure. It's so clean. It's so set up nice. We hide all our trash cans. So everything's very aesthetic,
Nice towels and the view from the hot tub. I would join just for that.
That's my favorite one. Other than the group exercise room. I agree.
It's a great
We got all the views. We got all the state-of-the-art equipment. And it's just very welcoming. That's the biggest thing when it comes to our club. So I'm glad you were there.
Yeah. So I figured out the best place to work out. Can you tell me why and how is exercise related to good mental health?
Good transition. So working off my last podcast, when it comes to mental health and an exercise, my biggest thing about strength training is it's a poly pill. So many different people, depending on what you're working with, whether it's just a lack of sleep, anxiety, depression, anything on the mental health spectrum can be helped with strength training 3 times a week. And it's kind of funny that less than 5% of Americans actually strength train 3 times a week. And then we have, all these ailments, and then we're surprised. We're like, oh, stressed out all the time, The fact is, we got to move our body. That's the only way to keep the mind and body sound, is physical exertion. And ideally, structured properly and being the most efficient when you're in the club. Because truly, you shouldn't be in there for more than 45 to 60 minutes at a time. That's the biggest thing.
Well, and we want to do it safely too, because for some people, getting into a gym the first time, it can be intimidating. Nobody, you look at these machines and it's like, I don't know what to put where. And let's be honest, a lot of these gyms, they are sign up for your free 1 hour, workout, and then you don't see them ever again. And it's like, wait, what did they say about this? Or how am I supposed to do this?
That's the difference between them and us. We are fitness professionals when it comes to our training staff. So that implies we have degrees in the field. We have at least 5 years of experience working with anybody over 50 years old. So when it comes to the is it safe for me question, or is this trainer going to hurt me and, buffer my results long term versus actually increase them, we're set there. We assess everybody for at least an hour, and that just starts with sitting down, getting, your history, and really getting at the biggest thing, which is not injuring you. So we need to know all your contraindications, things just don't work, period. And then based on what you feed to us, oh, my shoulder was this or my ankle was that. That's how we know what to work into your program, because we truly have thousands of exercises just kind of floating around in our head. And that first hour is really where we narrow down your weak links and the exercises we know that would be beneficial to you. So,
and I was thinking too, like with mental health, it's when you're confident. I know when I'm working out and I'm doing a class or I'm doing something to where I'm actually stopping and taking care of myself and doing things that are important for me. That brings a confidence, which I've got to imagine is affecting my mental health.
100%. Everybody feels better when they're walking out the club.
Yeah.
Of course, getting there is usually the hardest part, but once you're there, we like to take the questions away, permitted. You're working with a fitness professional. You walk in, your warm up, your routine, if you do it 3 times a week, you can trust the process. But truly, it does affect mental health because you're building the social side of things too. So if you're engaged in a group exercise, you have other people that you're engaging with, which you typically don't on a day-to-day basis. If you're running errands and stuff, like you're not gonna find a friend essentially,
Right.
So the club is also a good place to find a friend because
Mhm.
mental health is not just about, movement. It's about your social circle, and your family and your friends and your support system. But I like that you brought up the whole self-care idea
Right.
because my biggest thing is you need to be as selfish as you can about your time in the club, and it should just be, 3 or 4 days a week and it's no more than an hour, but you should treat that as top priority
Mhm.
because you are top priority. So nobody's going to create your happiness. Nobody's going to go around and do the movement for you. Trust me, I'd be filthy rich if I can do like some type of surrogate training.
Right.
It's like, I'll train for you. You'll be good. Just pay me. Sure. That's not a thing, of course, maybe in 1,000 years, but basically you got to take care of yourself and nobody's going to do it for you. So when it comes to a lot of the excuses I get from people, it's just like, no, you need to be selfish. You need to
Right.
take that time and create no excuses. Kind of like brushing your teeth or other chores you kind of feel like you have to do.
You have
So,
to do them. I was thinking about as you were speaking, so many people today are taking a pill or an injection.
mhm.
And of course, people are losing weight. But how is that affecting them mentally? I mean, because so many are, oh, it's easy to do this. I'll just take this pill, but they're not working out. They're not, you know, closing the loop, so to say.
We're looking for the short route,
Yeah.
basically, the easy route, the fastest route. And unfortunately, a lot of these medications have the side effects.
Hmm.
The best side effect from, physical exertion is, oh, I got pretty sore or I got really
Hmm.
tired, or really sweaty.
It's I love when it's like, ooh, that's
Yeah,
a
you
different
feel like you
muscle,
earned it in a
right?
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a good feeling just knowing that you put the work in. I mean, it helps you sleep better at night, the days that you exercise, because you literally are tired from all that movement. So the sleep falls in line, the day-to-day happiness falls in line. But these are just like this is just one big thing that has to be supplemented by a lot of free things you can do every day,
Right.
like sleeping 7 to 8 hours. A lot of people don't even do that. And then they expect great results from
Hmm.
whatever program they're not on. And then, of course, water. Everybody knows they got to drink water every day, but how much is it?
Right.
It's pretty easy. Take half your body weight. That's how many ounces you should be drinking every single day.
Oh, good to know.
And, if you have a more, whole based diet, you're going to get more water in your diet just naturally. But the fact is, we all have to drink a ton of water.
Right.
But that's only half our hydration. We need to have electrolytes too. So you can be fully hydrated water wise, but still sleep pretty poorly and have low energy throughout the day and just kind of feel weak overall just because you're low in electrolytes.
Right.
So there's a lot of different supplements out there, but the easiest thing to do is just drink some coconut water, because that's got most of the electrolytes we need in it. And sure, it doesn't taste great, but it's one thing we can drink every day to make sure our bodies are hydrated. I mean, that's every organ in our body we're talking about, and mostly our brain. If our brain's
Right.
not hydrated, if our body doesn't have the electrolytes it needs, it's not going to function properly. So talking to people is going to be a little bit harder. Resting, energy, everything you do with your brain is going to be a little bit more difficult if you're not properly hydrated.
Well, and you brought up our organs. We know, so skin is the largest organ in our body, right? It's
That's
the,
the most surface area. So that's a good myth for us to bust real fast. So basically, if you spread it all out, it takes up the most surface area. But when it comes to the largest organ in our body, it's our muscular organ system, our
oh,
MOS.
okay.
So if you take all your muscles, put them together, that's a single organ in a sense. It's your muscular system. And so that is what has the most to do with our mental wellness day in and day out. The reason being is muscles talk to bones, bones talks to your brain, brain talks to other organs, organs talk to each other via hormones. And so hormones is your master communication system in your body. So what I'm getting at is if you take your biggest organ system, your muscular organ system, and you train it to be resilient, strong, being able to just do all your activities of daily living sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
especially our population,
Right.
is the main goal. But if you got a sport, you got to throw that in there too. The fact is, if you get your largest organ system to be healthy and radiate that among other organs in your body, you're going to have better communication. Better communication means stronger bones,
Mm-hmm.
stronger hair, thicker nails, things we all want to take a pill for in a sense, but we don't. We can just work on our strength training. Like I said, it can be more efficient or less. The fact is, you got to get under some stress when it comes to that system, So when it comes to stressing your system, every system in your body needs to be stressed in a sense. And there's good stress and bad stress, of course. So good stress for your skin would be like scrubbing with something that's abrasive,
Right.
That's how you get better skin. Better stomach health, you got to eat fiber. You got to stress that system a little bit. So for our muscles, it's getting under tension. So strength training, very gray for sure for everybody. I would just recommend you working on six main movements is the biggest thing for strength training. And so that kind of takes me into my next topic here is like, okay, yeah, he says we gotta work out 3 times a week and we gotta get under some weight. Well, if I don't want a fitness professional and I just want some general guidance, there's 6 things we all need to do.
Okay.
So when it comes to the upper body, you need to push like a chest press.
Okay.
You need to pull like a row. And then you need to carry some type of load. We call that locomotion. For the lower body, you need a push and a pull too. So a push for your lower body would be like a squat.
Okay.
Or most people know it as a deep knee bend in our population. And then you have a hinge, which is your lower body pull. A lot of my population knows it as a deadlift. Right?
Okay.
So a squat and a deadlift. And then the third one is a split squat or a lunge. So like as if you were to put one foot back and then squat down towards the ground, maybe just pick something up off the floor, right? Those are the 6 movements every program should have. And if it doesn't have it yet, it's more than likely you need to earn that movement first. Some people just can't squat properly because they're tight in certain areas and weak in others, So the bottom line is if you can't do all 6, then we help you understand how you can earn those 6 exercises and work them in week and week out.
Smart, because so many people think, oh, I'm on the treadmill 3 days a week. Great. You've moved.
Yeah.
But we've got to have that resistance, that pull and the push. And the one I hate the most is the lunge. But I think you have to work that lunge because once those knees, hardest. It's like, oh, so hard. Like I'll do squats all day long. You want me to squat, deadlifts, perfect.
Same.
You want me to lunge?
Give me a couple 100 pounds, I'll squat it. But lunging, I'm like, I think I'm done with my workout.
Yeah, we're done. Oh,
but no, it's the hardest one. And typically when it comes to the harder exercises for you, it's usually because you just need them more, You're getting to more uncomfortable positions because that's really what strength training is. You're putting yourself under tension in these uncomfortable positions to build resilience, right? So, I mean, the biggest thing that we're confronted with is low backs, and knees, and shoulders. And the bottom line is if you baby an area in your body, like your low back, you avoid lifting, you avoid strength training because your back might get hurt, it's just going to continuously get weaker and weaker. You have to slowly and intelligently build resilience in that muscle group. So, coming from my physical therapy background at Cal State Fullerton, it's like I've learned if your back is the one screaming at you, then that usually means the joints above or below that area are the reasons why that area is working too hard, overworked, stressed out, so.
I was thinking too, as you're speaking, the brain, I always hear like the brain is lazy. It's going to do what you tell it to do.
For sure.
And if it's very comfortable sitting in the chair, watching TV, and that's what it thinks you want, that's what it's going to do. And 100%. Then if you're excited about being in the gym and you just start telling your body, this is where you want to be, this is what you want to be doing, I think the brain tends to, let's go then.
Right.
That's, because it just does, it's lazy. It'll do what you tell it to do. And
It's true.
I think that affects your mental health too. It's
It
like
does.
you're building your happy place. This is where I go
It's
to
true.
be happy and do.
When people have difficulty with that, because that's a really good point, and I actually said it earlier, like it feels like a chore,
Hmm.
getting to the club, doing your strength training, your cardiovascular training. I like to just like bring it back a little for people. And it's like this, sure, it feels like a chore, but it's more of a privilege.
Yeah.
We have the upper body, the arms, we have the
Hmm.
legs, we have the ability to do these movements, and others don't, quite frankly. So we need to treat it as I have the opportunity, I get to exercise
Hmm.
versus like I have to exercise.
Yeah.
So sure, it's not the most comfortable thing. I'll be the first to admit I don't like to work out. It's like, oh my God,
What?
the fitness guy doesn't like to. No,
Yeah.
I really don't. The fact is, I know why I need to do it. And I don't have a lot of the questions like, am I hurting myself? Am I on the right program? Am I doing the right this and
Because
that? Exactly. So, like, and everybody else should just rely on the process. I know this works, and you just have to do it week in and week out, and you'll get the benefits.
Right.
They're kind of hard to explain sometimes when you ask people, 8 weeks into, a program coming off of, a sedentary lifestyle. It's like, I don't know. I have more energy. I feel better. I just feel happier. My conversations are more pleasant. I'm talking to more people and I'm just kind of enjoying things
Hmm.
more in general.
I've made friends at the gym, and we all know that when you have a friend that's kind of holding each other accountable,
It's
it
huge.
helps you get there a
It's
little better.
huge.
I think it's crazy that it's like, "Oh, I'm tired all the time. I should probably work out." That
Hmm.
seems so contradictory. I'm too tired to work out, but really it's the opposite, right? When
Yeah.
you're working out
It's a
it.
really good point, actually. Most people, will work 8 hours, whether we're sitting or standing. We get home, oh, I'm too tired to
Mhm.
exercise, right? And so you go to bed late because you watch some
Of
Netflix or
course.
something to kind of zone out. And then you wake up tired again. Say you're starting your day at 80%, right? No matter how much caffeine you drink, no matter how many walks you take, you're going to be operating at 80% that day, right? So I encourage people to get your routine in because you're going to sleep so much better and you're going to wake up the next day at a higher percentage.
Right.
You can't expect operating 100% if you're not sleeping, you're not drinking your water, you're not taking your daily walks, like doing these basic requirements of your body. And we all know we got to eat healthy too. Fact is, we need calories and we just need to not eat too many calories. So when it
Right.
comes to eating whole foods and staying away from processed foods, that's great. But you can still lose weight,
Right.
eating processed foods as long as your calories are low enough,
Go protein style
right?
in and out over there by you guys, right?
Sure. But we also know that those processed foods are going to affect your organs and overall your brain.
Right.
So if we're talking mental health, it's everything considered. But the heaviest hitter is 3 days a week of strength training. That's what it all boils down to. So,
So obviously you know exactly what you're doing up there. Can anybody access, do I have to live at Touchmark to get up there? I know I went and toured it, but I don't know that we've
it's a good
covered that.
question. So, the biggest secret for the Quad City area is that we are open to the public over 50. So, we're open 7 to 1 Monday through Saturday, and that's usually when we are the busiest for the pool. But
Hmm.
after 1 o'clock, it moves to specialty services like personal training, massage therapy, and group exercise classes. So, yes, we close at 1 on Monday through Saturday, but that doesn't mean we stop our services and like the club's done kind of deal.
Right.
So when it comes to being open to the public, those are our hours. Residents, it's a little bit different story. They have 24/7 access
Oh,
to
okay.
our equipment, being that they can come independently or with their friends safely, because that's our main concern, of course. But when it comes to the pool, it's 7 to 1, other than the aqua classes that we
Right.
kind of have sprinkled out throughout the week.
So what I love too is it's the membership to the public over 50,
Right.
which you would think, it doesn't matter, but when you get to be over 50, for some people, it could be very intimidating to go into
For sure.
because I want to feel good about myself. I want to be able to
Yeah.
go in because, again, we're doing this for our mental health as well.
Yeah.
And to be able to walk into a club where everybody's my age or everybody's, my age or even a little older,
Mhm.
it's something comforting about we're all kind of in the same boat.
Yep.
We're all at this age. We're not 20 years old anymore, running uphill for, 20 miles and it's easy.
It's true. It's true. You don't have a
So,
bunch of eyes on you. You don't have hundreds of members walking around
mhm,
watching what you're doing. So there's the intimacy for sure at our club, and that's one of our second goals is a safe and intimate environment for you to move freely,
right.
and have a lot of opportunities for those movements, of course.
Is your equipment as good as what I would get at a gym?
It's going to be better. We have more therapeutic equipment too. So we have a few pieces of equipment you would see like a physical therapy clinic or a rehab clinic, like an arm bike or a
Okay,
seated, like New Step is kind of the biggest brand there, but we have SiFits. It's this seated arm and leg function,
perfect.
which is huge. If you got any type of back injury or issue, discomfort, then you can unload your back in the seated position and still work your upper and lower extremities, right? But just keep in mind, nothing's better than walking outside for 30 minutes a day, getting that vitamin D and fresh air, because that alone will improve your mental health, So,
Yeah,
and that's the thing about our bodies. There's so many different systems working together that there's a lot of different ways you can improve that mental health. And having experienced depression, anxiety in my life, I know I feel so much better once I'm able to kind of break out of that little funk, get outside, get my body moving, get in front of my friends, get talking with them, and just, shoot some stuff around, because really it's just being around other people.
right.
For some people, hey, you need a massage, you need someone to just get some hands on you, that human
Human
contact
touch,
in a
yeah.
sense, so, and we've got all that, we got the massage therapy, the personal training, the group exercise. We're all about the 7 dimensions of wellness. And if you're not familiar, go to our website, check them out. Every single part of our group exercise schedule addresses each part of our 7 dimensions of wellness. But obviously, we're here to just stress the physical part because it's the easiest one to avoid, I feel
Right.
like, so.
Well, when I think mental health, I don't always go straight to exercise and all of that. It's more of like, okay, who do I need to talk to? What do I need to
Right.
do? And so I'm so glad to have you in here because it just
Thank you.
wasn't kind of putting those pieces together. So,
I'm here to switch that around because I thought the same thing. It's all about the body looks
mhm,
but it's really about up here.
right,
So if you continue to move, you're going to stay independent longer, which is the biggest thing. I mean, it's your dignity there. You want to feel like you can continue doing all these activities of daily living and things that you enjoy to do,
right,
and live longer. That's the second reason why we're all doing this here. I mean, the cherries on top is, oh, if you want to get more muscular, you're going to get a little bit leaner if you're working that, but
get in
the
there.
fact is, like, it's you got to set the ego aside and just realize that this is for health and longevity and
Yeah,
happiness,
might be
So,
uncomfortable for a little bit, but we're gonna figure it out. I like the fact that it's not, well, if you want to get this done right, you have to come see me and you have to do it at Touchmark. Just get moving. Just get moving, get
exactly.
outside.
Yeah.
But obviously, a great place to do that is going to be with you
Yeah.
at Touchmark under your watchful eye of just making sure everybody's doing it safely. And especially if you're starting, you've taken some time off and you're ready to get back in.
It's kind of like retirement living in general. Like, sure, there's others around here, but if you want the best, like we truly
That's
are.
what I
We've
say.
got
Yeah.
we've got the best fitness professionals, because we truly do care. And of course, being open to the public is just our hand in the community so that people
Mhm.
can hear good things and come check us out. Fact is, we want to help anybody and everybody, and if you feel like I'm reaching out to you specifically today, come see me. I'm at the club Monday through Friday.
So
Happy to
what's
help.
if people out there are interested, do they just come up there and just walk in?
So come 7 to 1, Monday through Saturday. What we do for any interested or prospective member, it's 7 days on us. We want to make sure you enjoy our offerings and our space and environment, and that, we enjoy you too, because it goes both ways. We
Got to
want to
make
make
sure it's
sure
a
it's a
good fit.
healthy
Yep.
relationship, So if you feel like you're a good fit and, you want to work with us, we'd be very happy to have you for sure.
That's awesome. Is there a number or website that they can go to?
So best thing to do is let us show you the value. Come in
Come in.
person, at
Perfect.
7 to 1. I'll keep saying it because, our hours are always changing, but those are our current hours. So check us out online too. There's many Touchmarks though. So you got to make sure you filter for Prescott, Arizona for the
Yep.
Touchmark. We've got 14 locations going now.
And honestly, nothing is going to beat when you walk in there, because when I walked in, I was expecting amazing because it's Touchmark,
Yeah.
but it exceeded those expectations. I was like, oh my gosh,
That's what I mean by value. Once you see
yeah,
it, once you get in our pool, once you try a class or two, you'll want to be a member for sure. And you'll want to ditch those big commercial gyms.
perfect. So everybody knows where it is. It's right there by In-N-Out, Walmart.
Or Costco.
Yeah, there it is, Costco. It's big old. I love
Yep.
the community up there. It's just
We're
something
growing
for
right
everybody.
now. So
Yeah.
if you've noticed, we've got 74 homes being
Wow.
built right now. We just got the roof on. So we're very excited. We're going to have over 500 happy residents on that hill.
That's
our little
amazing.
community up there.
Amazing. Well, if you haven't yet gone up there, is the Fin open right now, or is it getting
So,
ready?
good question, since we're getting closer to May. So May 12th is going to be the last day the Fin is open to the public.
Okay.
Because of the renovations we just talked about for independent living, they're going to be bringing their kitchen over to the Fin
Okay.
to serve our independent living, solely the independent living.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure our residents are well taken care of during this time of construction and renovation. So the Fin does plan on reopening, whether
Perfect.
it's 6, 8, 12 months, but we will be reopening to the public because we know
So
how
good.
much our public loves the Fin. And I'll be honest, I eat there at least once or twice a week too. So
Lucky.
I am. Well, it's right
It's-
above me, so
yeah,
it's nice.
easy.
It's
So
almost too easy.
I know. Well, hop in, but they've got great choices on their menu too.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can
They switch it up,
indulge
too.
if you had a good workout, or
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
need to.
I call it job
but-
security. You can
There
eat
it is,
before
right?
and after and then just come work out,
So head on up to Touchmark, go see Nick. Got us all taken care of and improve our mental health.
Thank you.
So, all
Appreciate
right.
you having me here today.
Thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning in to another podcast on our Cast 11 Studios. See you next time.